Hello friends, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about a mod again, except this time it is a mod that I made. So what you're looking at is the Pytheas System. It's named after the Greek explorer that explored the Arctic North in ancient days. But this is something that I created basically for the community and to also help myself learn a little bit of the creation kit. So I picked up the creation kit about 3 weeks ago, pumped out this system, and I can give you a little bit of details about this. So this is not like a completely handcrafted system. What I am doing here is basically I took a lot of the greatest hits of Starfield. If you watch my posts, I put out a post a couple weeks ago, or not a couple weeks ago, it was about a week ago, asking what players would want to see in a system. And basically the feedback I got was, we want dangerous animal life and resources. So I tried to hit both those on like both those items right there. Make sure that there are plenty of resources available within the system, and that there's also a ton of dangerous alien life for you to be challenged by there. One of the other things I did was I made sure to ensure that skyboxes were picture perfect. And it was a simple little math problem to kind of solve that issue. And I would say in all except for one planet, I have the skyboxes working as intended. One of the planets is acting a little bit strange. Not that it breaks anything. You might just see a gas giant abnormally close to the planet itself, where it is basically taking up the entirety of the skybox. And then sometimes it will drift farther away to a more normal position. Yeah, one of the planets is acting a little bit strangely, but this system, I essentially created it because I want to tell a story in Starfield, but the story is going to require for me to drastically alter a system, and I did not want to do that with a pre-existing system and risk it breaking by like a Bethesda update, so I wanted to add my own system to the game. So phase one was teaching myself how to add a system to the game, which I was successful. It took me about 2 weeks of troubleshooting to get a system that was functional and working. And then after I got a system that was functional and working, I posed that question out to you guys of what you would like to see in the system, and I built this. I basically took Starfield's greatest hits, mashed them into a system, but I tried to make it sensical. So I chose a name for the system that fits like the naming convention. So I named it after an explorer. There are a few systems within Starfield that are named after explorers. And then beyond that, what else did I do? I tried to make sure that the system was quasi-scientifically coherent, where I put the rocky bodies towards the middle of the system in the inner system, and then I put the gas giants towards the outer end, and then I put some icy rocks towards the very end of the system itself. And then also, when it came to moons and habitable life, the moons that had habitable life, I put closest to the gas giants, thinking that they would be heated through tidal forces from the gas giant itself. And this is basically what I came up with. So I picked a lot of the what I would consider greatest hits out of Starfield, mashed them all together, tried to place them coherently within the system, and then I also calculated out the orbital distances to ensure that skyboxes are, picture perfect when you are playing. So you're going to notice that there is a lot of photo opportunities within this system itself. There's going to be tons of life. I think there's like 7 planets and moons that contain life within this system, which is probably the most of any system within Starfield. Not to mention, there is also some stuff that does not contain life, but it's either there for aesthetic purposes, like I have a purple desert that's orbiting one of these bodies that looks absolutely gorgeous. And also I have a lot of rocky moons incorporated in here that have resources, in plentiful resources, stuff that you're going to need, particular combos that are just absolutely great. So this is essentially the explorer's system. This is for people that maybe they love building systems of outposts and having a giant manufacturing center. You should be able to do that with this. If there is any kind of resources that I'm missing, please let me know. I made sure to leave room within this system to add more moons, planets, etc., so we can flesh that out more. But it's also going to be a wonderful system for people that love to go on adventures. The Xeno crew is probably going to love this system as well because of how many different and diverse forms of life there are within the system itself, inhabitable bodies. So there's going to be a little bit for everything. If you are a digital photographer, you're going to find wonderful sites to do that. If you love capturing Xenos and playing Xenomaster, there's going to be tons of life-bearing worlds that have Xenos on it. If you love making outposts, there's plenty of resources for that. Or if you like making outposts for aesthetic purposes, you're going to have plenty of places to sit down and outpost that just have wonderful views to them, and is going to make the game just freaking amazing for you. So I try to place everything in here, but this is just phase one. So what I am going to be doing in upcoming phases is I'm going to be readjusting the orbits itself and doing some fine tweaking, some adjustment work to ensure that, you know, certain bodies are tidally locked, and some that aren't tidally locked, because some I do want to rotate in relationship to their gas bodies. So there's going to be a little bit of adjustments to that, but also I want to get into the procedural generation, tweaking what kind of life appears on these planets. So if there is, say, something like a creature out there in the settled systems that you'd like to see in here, please, by all means, let me know. Sorry about that. Same with resources. If you see that there's a missing resource from the system that you would very much like, let me know that as well. The intention for this is basically for me to learn the creation kit and learn how to create and craft systems so I can basically set the stage for a wonderful story. And by that, you guys making requests of what you'd want to see within this system absolutely helps me do that, where if you want to see adjustments to like the plant life or the fauna and flora, I can absolutely make adjustments to that, go in there and tweak that, add like particular aliens. I know I actually have plans of spicing up some of these planets a little bit more and kind of juicing with a little bit more alien life that's a little bit more deadly and a little bit more terrifying. But yes, this essentially is the Pytheas system. This is going to be my way of learning the creation kit and learning system generation itself. So this was a very fun project, and I'm going to continue working on it. Would I ever plan on, you know, making this a paid mod? No, I don't. Would I ever possibly do like an achievement-friendly version for like $1? Possibly. I potentially would do that, but that would only be at the point where I consider it kind of like a finished product. Right now, majority of this is working the way I want it to, but there is definitely some things I want to spice up. Some of the orbits I want to adjust. There is one moon in particular that is giving me some problems with its orbit. Not that it will affect your gameplay at all, you just might notice that it's taking up 95% of the skybox at times, and then other times it's, you know, much smaller. So that one I'm trying to debug and fix. It's not going to cause any problems with the gameplay, but the rest of the bodies here, they seem to be working as intended. I might be adjusting rotations and etc., stuff like that, maybe moving them a little bit farther in or a little bit farther out. And a lot of this is going to be based off of your feedback. So if you have any feedback, like you want to see, like, hey, can you move the moon a little bit closer to the gas giant? By all means, like, list out the moon name and tell me what you want. If we have like a consensus on like, hey, this moon should be closer, then yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it. But this is basically a community project to kind of help me learn the creation kit, and then also give you guys like the ultimate explorers kind of system. So by all means, have fun with this one. I included a lot of really good planets here, a lot of good combos. So you're going to see, a lot of interesting animal life. In the like I've been saying the whole entire time, the skyboxes are absolutely amazing in this one. So you'll have tons of photographic moments where there are absolutely a lot of things going on within the skybox, multiple moons going on, giant gas bodies, and it's I like it a lot. It's still a work in progress. Still needs some tweaking and adjustments to make this stuff feel a lot more unique and not like copy paste and jammed in. So we're going to be doing some tweaks to those procedural generation polls. I also do plan at some point in time messing with the rock and tree layer of the procedural generation as well, though that is going to be down the road to kind of really make this look unique. And those are things that are kind of already being done by some modders out there, but by all means, I'm going to go ahead and dive in and kind of learn these skills myself. So, I'll have the ability to craft completely unique systems. But by all means, guys, please download this, play this, tell me what you think it needs added, what adjustments you think need made to this, maybe things you would like to see done with this system. If there's like any moons out in the settled systems, like, hey, can you bring this moon and put it in here? Please let me know. I can do that in an update where I add like additional moons, like if it's, some kind of like alien life on there or something very interesting about it. Yeah, let me know. This was based mostly on your feedback, but also is a lot of like my favorite picks of planets and moons within the settled systems. And, just doing a little bit of tweaking just to make sure skyboxes looked picture perfect. But you're going to see a link to this in the description below. I will also put a link to my Discord in the description below. So if you don't want to, comment your personal opinions, by all means, you can go ahead and join my Discord and let me know personally, like, here's my opinion. I think, you should do X, Y, Z to the system. Move the orbit in here, move the orbit out here. I'm all ears, and this is basically, for me, this is just a learning experience. For you, this is, what do you want to see in this system? Because I can basically bring anything into the system. But one thing I have noticed, because I did launch this yesterday, I think I got like somewhere around like 150 plays, but I only got one like. So please like the mod. You go to the load order menu, and then you hit, I believe it's the right bumper to like a mod. So please like the mod. That helps it surface more in creations and be seen by more people, because ultimately I'd love to have a lot more people playing this and get more feedback. That really helps the development process if I can hear from a lot of people instead of just like a handful of people. I'll even use the community section of my YouTube page, and we can kind of like vote and discuss things for like any kind of like major changes that we might want to do to this system. But like always, friends, please enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope you enjoy this.